Welcome to Recently Logged,
where this week we're celebrating Mother's Day. Well, hello.
What was that?
The calzone.
Hello.
The calzone is catching up with me. I'm sorry, guys.
So as just mentioned in our title, we have a guest with us today.
We do.
Indeed you do.
Who'd have thought?
And
For Mother's Day.
It is our mother.
It's our mother. Crazy.
Say hi, mother.
Hi, Mother.
This week we're doing a What We Watched episode, which for those of you who don't know, we're just going to break down everything we've watched since the last episode. We don't have a specific topic. We'll go more in depth, and hopefully we'll have watched several movies
Together?
with each other.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I think you're the one that watched random movies by yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Robbie and
I just haven't watched anything. I watched all of these but one with you guys. I just have watched hardly any this week.
Okay. Well, sorry about that.
I mean, I could have watched more movies if I really tried hard, but there was an
That's
Overwatch tournament this week.
Oh.
That's what my free time was for.
That's it. Now we get the truth.
Yeah, well, I still gotta finish.
You're more of a
finals.
gamer than a cinephile, Micah.
Yes, I would I would buy a video game over a movie any day of the week.
I think that's a crime.
Well,
Thanks.
We'll have to get a new co-host.
hey, we've done a video game on here before. So.
That's true. Well, I guess we'll just go ahead and hop straight into the actual meat of the episode.
The meat of the episode,
if you will. So the date range we'll be covering today is from May 4th, also known as Star Wars Day,
to the 9th.
to the 9th.
May the 4th.
May the 4th
Yes.
be with you.
For the uninitiated, May the 4th be with you, is the Star Wars Day, officially, I think.
It is officially, yes.
All right.
No, it is.
Yeah, it's official.
Yeah.
Official. It's not an actual.
It's not a
holiday,
government
Yeah,
holiday.
I know that.
It's
I'm
official.
Well, there you go.
All right. Do we want to get into it?
Yeah.
For Star Wars Day, me and Robbie wanted to watch a Star Wars movie that we'd only seen one time.
Yeah, it was, what was the other one we were going to do? It was Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I'd seen Return of the Jedi a bunch.
But I am not really a big fan of Return of the Jedi, on the whole. It's my least favorite of the original trilogy.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me
it's
sad.
the best of the trilogy.
Empire's the best one, though.
No, but Return of the Jedi is the best one. Empire is amazing.
Empire is literally...
Empire is good, yes.
Return of the Jedi is...
But how can you not like Return of the Jedi?
I like all of them.
very
But anyway, we watched, or at least I watched... I don't think you were there, actually. I watched
What?
Rogue One in theaters when it first came out.
I was there.
In Florida?
Yeah. No, I remember seeing it in a theater.
I don't
It was
remember
very
you being
boring.
there. But yeah, I remembered it being mildly boring, but it had some fun elements.
Yeah, no,
it had some cool, interesting things.
I remember liking the characters from it, at the
feel
very
like-
least.
We were out of town and you were with Grandma and
Yeah,
Grandpa.
it was
Yeah.
just Grandma
No,
and Grandpa.
yeah, that's
what it
It
was.
was just Grandpa, me, and Robbie, I guess.
Yeah. No, there was a new Star Wars film out, so we had to go see it.
When did it come out?
Came out in
2016. So yeah.
Well, then it wouldn't have been Marion's graduation.
But yeah, we rewatched it, Disney Plus, and it was still really, really boring.
Yeah, it's so weird, and I was talking about this with Robbie. I think this has some of the most interesting Star Wars concepts introduced. It actually starts to get into more quote unquote realistic feeling Star Wars universe. They treat the characters for the most part like actual people, and not just these weird things. Everybody except Jen.
Yeah, I guess I could see what you're saying. But...
So I liked kind of what they were going for. This feels I don't know. It feels like it was almost trying to be the edgy Star Wars movie in tone.
Well, this was before Solo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was the first departure from the original Skywalker saga stuff.
Yeah, and unlike Solo, this is shot quite a bit differently from your average Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Well, it introduces so many new shot styles that you've never seen before in a Star Wars movie.
But yeah, with all of these new and interesting factors, for some reason this movie is still just so boring.
Yeah.
Really? Did you? I mean, I didn't rewatch it
Yeah.
with you. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but I really liked this one.
No, I imagine if...
But I
Like-
grew up watching Star Wars.
Well, I
so-
grew up watching Star Wars,
Like-
just not when it came out.
Thinking back on it, like, I'm like, yeah, why didn't I like that? It has, like, fun... It has, like, K2SO, which
Yeah,
is a
like-
really fun character. It has
Like,
that other guy that I can't
even
remember.
like
his name.
Cassian. And
Yeah,
Cassian's
Cassian.
kind of
Yeah,
weird.
Cassian. Like, thinking back on it, I'm like, oh, it seems like I would like that. The lighting looks amazing in that.
Chirrut.
It's shot pretty well. I remembered liking the end sequence quite a bit back when I watched it the first time, but it just really,
It's got Mads Mikkelsen.
yeah, it has Mads Mikkelsen in it too. But like, I was just so bored the whole time. Like, it's just,
It has no energy when you're watching it. Like, it's got like I said, it's got a lot of cool things, cool shots. It's really nice looking.
yeah.
But like there's no energy behind anything. You feel like you're just watching this just kind of slow thing. And like Robbie said a lot while we were watching it, for probably the first half of the movie, they are telling you the same information.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they just keep feeding
over
you the same
and
information over and over.
You don't
again.
learn anything new. It's just Jin and Cassian and all of them being like, her dad is Death Star Man.
I was about to say, it just keeps going to a new location where they explain to someone else that, like, the backstory of Jin, and then it just keeps doing that until it finds a new piece of information, and
Wait,
then
that
it goes...
was Alan Tudyk as K2SO.
Oh, really? Who knew? But yeah, no, it's a very... I don't want to say bad, but kind of bad screenplay, especially by Star Wars standards, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of sad I didn't watch it with you guys.
Yeah, no, it was an
But you
interesting
did it while I was
rewatch.
at work, so.
Yeah, I was about to say you should rewatch it with sometime.
Yeah, no, I think it's an interesting movie. I personally really love Star Wars, and while I don't hold the movies all to the same prestige that I used to, I still have a lot of like love for Star Wars. I
Yeah.
pretty much like every Star Wars movie, even if I'm gonna be like kind of boring. Like I still really enjoy the Star Wars universe, and there's a lot of like nostalgia in that for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what did you rate Rogue One, Micah?
I rated it 2.5 stars.
Hey, I rated it 2.5 stars too.
Wow.
It's a very mediocre movie.
Not bad, but not great.
Great.
What did you guys? Because I think you guys watched the next thing.
Yes,
Yes.
because I am in the midst of
An ambitious project.
apparently torturing myself of doing the Disney Channel original movies, but not all of them because that would be
That
Insane.
that's a lot.
That's so many
but
movies.
just the ones that are about music or are musicals.
Yeah,
Yes.
so all of the quote-unquote music movies, which encompasses musicals.
Like Camp
and,
Rock, Lemonade Mouth,
things about
Teen
bands.
Beach Movie, yeah.
High School Musical.
High School
yes.
Musical, stuff like that.
But Robbie came and watched it with me.
I did.
It was Starstruck.
I've
Yeah.
seen this before.
Starstruck,
Whoa.
Disney Channel, baby.
Disney Channel original Starstruck.
I don't know what I was doing. Was I?
I don't know what
I don't know
I
what I
think
was
I
you,
think you were watching
you might have
Overwatch.
you were either playing Overwatch
Yeah.
or
it might have
watching
been, It
Overwatch.
might have been the start of the tournament, actually.
Could be. Yeah, I don't know. I had never well, I had seen this one time before, but I really like forgot about it. And I think pretty validly forgot.
I don't know
about
if we watched it when it came out or a little
I
bit
don't
after
know.
it came out, but we have seen it before.
I mean, it's like that's
It
the
came out
right.
in 2010.
Yeah, that's
so-
the right year for us to have been watching Disney Channel at the time. So, who knows?
I mean, it's a Disney Channel story for sure. It's,
Yeah,
I didn't
don't-
watch it, so I don't want to comment as much, but I hate the story.
I don't know if you want to share with everybody on here what your Letterboxd is, but they could look at the list. I guess
Is
if
it
we put
public?
it. Yeah, if we put it in the
I
show
don't even know if
description.
I have.
Yeah, no, it's public.
Do I have it public?
Yeah, no, I liked it the other day.
Disney Channel music
It's coming
movies
along.
ranked.
It's coming along pretty nicely.
Would you
Yeah,
like?
I've
Would you like to
got,
tell the audience your letterbox?
I've got 19 movies on it at this point that I've watched, and I've still got to put myself through watching Teen Beach Movie 2 and Zombies 2.
Those are gonna
Oh,
be
man.
so much fun.
Yeah, well,
So much fun.
just can you hear in my voice how much I'm looking forward to
I mean,
it?
Zombies is a literal masterpiece. so-
Literal masterpiece. Here. we can,
What's her? It's Jennifer, but what's the ad?
here, hold on.
I know, I
We're
was
looking
trying
up.
to look up my ad, and I don't remember. It's been...
Because if you just put in Jennifer, there's going to be... Okay, it's
Squaggles. Okay, of course I use Squaggles.
Squaggles.
That is...
Squaggles.
Yes, she is.
On Letterboxd.
She is at Squaggles on Letterboxd.
I am.
If you want to check out some of her lists or her reviews.
I was about to say, does she review stuff?
I don't really review
occasionally,
too much.
yeah.
I really don't. I should more, but I just don't have time.
Yeah. But yeah, we watched Starstruck together. It was...
but the way I've been
interesting.
ranking these is based on how well I think the plot's written and how good the music is. So because I grew up in music and I know music really well, some of these movies have really bad music.
Like a zombie.
Really not good music. But yeah, that's kind of what I rate these on, and I gave Starstruck a 2
out of 5.
I don't
Yes.
remember much of the music from it. I did hear like the end song. I came in and heard
I mean,
the end song,
like-
which wasn't very good.
Yeah, it's pretty generic.
It is very generic.
Pretty
music.
generic
But, like,
2000s
but, like,
pop
the
is
plot,
basically all it is.
I'm not gonna feel bad about spoiling the 2010 Disney movie. But like, there's
Spoil
this
it.
pop star, and he's like, oh, he's forced into being it. Well, he started it off having fun, but then like his parents are running it. He's just saying yes to everything. He's just, he's living the corporate lifestyle.
Yes.
And all the girls love him. Every girl in the entire universe loves him,
Except, of course,
one girl.
One girl.
And this girl, of course, is the one that...
Whose sister is like his biggest fan.
And then, like, she meets him, and then he's like, oh, I feel like I can actually be, like, myself around you. And then they fall in love.
Yeah,
Well,
that,
I mean, it starts off a little different than that. Like, he ends up knocking her out.
Yeah, I was about to say, they're-
So that's how they kind of meet.
the general premise, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, so did I. I was really not expecting a whole lot. But it was, I enjoyed watching it. It wasn't like, oof.
Yeah, I gave it a like.
It ended up on my list of so far 19. It
Yes.
ended up at slot 14. So,
Oh wow, I didn't know Descendants was that low on your list. It's right below Starstruck.
well, I like Descendants. I do. And if you look, I think I gave it a like.
I mean, I would probably put this over Descendants.
However, if I'm rating on plot and music,
Descendants
gosh.
plot. What even is Descendants,
Descendants
plot?
doesn't rank very high.
Yeah, it's
So,
whack.
yeah, there's that. So that was that was the fourth. You guys watched another one, didn't you?
Would you rate Starstruck, Jeremy?
I rated it a 2 out of 5, same as
But
Mom.
yes, later that very same day,
very
to
same day.
keep in the Star Wars spirit, we wanted to watch another Star Wars movie, and this
Yes.
time we did our dad's favorite Star Wars movie, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
I don't think it's his favorite, but it's.
I know
just
it's one of
he
his
had.
favorites
I always remember him saying it's his favorite because of the pod
It's the
racing.
favorite of this set of 3.
of the prequels.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
We watched
He
episode
does
1,
like that pod racing.
The Phantom Menace,
The Phantom Menace. Yeah,
with young Annie,
kind of divisive question mark.
and really awkward vibes because Padme looks like she's like 20, and
Anakin looks like he's
looks
like
he's
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I used to have The Phantom Menace on the lowest rung of my Star Wars ranked list. This was my old Star Wars
Really?
ranked list from way back
at
when.
the very bottom.
And this
think I
time,
have that
I
ranked
actually
list for
really liked The Phantom Menace. Like, I really enjoyed it around
It's a
this time.
fun movie.
I think it was really fun. I think it's
It's
got...
definitely a fun movie.
I think
Yeah.
it's got like everything that makes me like the prequels. I know the prequels are always super divisive and it's always going back and forth whether like everybody loves the prequels or everybody hates the prequels. Nobody can ever decide. But I've always liked the prequels even though they're like they're pretty
They're a pretty big step down from the original
they're
trilogy.
pretty messy.
Yeah.
And they don't look good. But like I really like the prequels for like its characters and just a lot of the fun they have with the Star Wars universe. They just kind of have fun with it because this time George Lucas could just do what he wanted.
Well, yeah, and I think part of that is by the time they made these 3, and this was the first one of them, Star Wars was so big. Like when they made the
Yep.
first three, they didn't know what they were getting into, but they have so many fans.
And I mean, they got like Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor and
even
Natalie
the people
Portman.
that are in it, like you think they grew up being Star Wars fan. Well, not some of them grew
I was
up,
about to say, I don't think Liam Neeson grew up.
but Natalie Portman is not old enough to. But yeah, I mean, these people, they like Star Wars, and so it was fun for them to be in universe, I think.
Yeah, no, I know Hayden Christensen, who wasn't in this movie. He takes over as Anakin once Anakin's older. But he loved being in Star Wars. And, you know, it's actually really funny because they didn't even ask him back for the Clone Wars. They apparently asked Ewan McGregor if he wanted to voice Obi-Wan, and they didn't ask Hayden Christensen if he wanted to voice Anakin.
Oh, no.
But yeah, like, I don't know. This movie is just so much fun. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's really weird plot-wise. It's probably a little boring, but I had so much fun with it.
Yeah, I mean, I said in my review it was a lot more fun than I remembered. It definitely is pretty messy.
It's goofy.
I mean, I don't mind the goofiness. Like, it fits pretty well. Like, do you remember some of the stuff that happens in the original trilogy?
Like, Star Wars has always been goofy. I'm just saying, like, it is very goofy.
I don't know. Like, I just think it's a pretty decent film.
And I think it's probably one of the best balances for politics in the prequels.
Yes, I was about to say, I think it's one of the more watchable of the prequel films. I think it's probably my favorite. I'm not a big Revenge of the Sith
is so good, though. I
guy.
love Revenge of
I
the
don't
Sith.
know.
It's not good, but it's so good. We rewatched it with Luke not that long ago, and we were just laughing at it the whole time, but I just love it so much. I think it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So if you were to rank the prequels, what order would you put them in?
Revenge of the Sith, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah, Clones is probably the worst one.
Yeah, it was bad.
I liked Attack of the Clones a lot growing up.
I mean,
And probably just because Django.
yeah, I was about to say, my ranking is probably just his, but the first two are flipped because I like the Phantom Menace more than Revenge of the Sith. But
Yeah, while you guys were watching that, I was tired and wasn't sure I was going to be able to stay awake from it. So, but I did turn on a movie when I went to bed.
oh boy, a movie.
So I actually have one on the 5th as well.
There you go.
I watched Tom Clancy's Without Remorse.
with
It's a
Michael B.
new-
Jordan.
Yes, with Michael B. Jordan. And I believe it's brand new on Prime.
Yeah, no, it just
Prime.
came out like a week
I
ago.
wanted to see it, actually.
I think it's a Prime original, actually.
Yeah.
It was not what I expected.
Well, did you already know who like Tom Clancy was
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything?
of
I mean,
course.
Tom
I've watched
Clancy's a
Tom-
huge
I
writer
mean-
anyway.
I've
Yeah, I
watched
mean-
other Tom Clancy book adaptations.
Yeah. Well, I just was curious. I didn't know.
Ever played Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, actually. But yeah, no, it was all right. It was intense a bit sometimes.
Well, I mean, I would
From
hope
what
so.
I've heard,
But
it's pretty bland.
But it's weird because at the same time the plot was intense, but it didn't come off that way on screen.
It was just
You know
kind
what I
of
mean? It
just
was
kind of
just-
dull.
I've
it was
heard,
very-
yeah, from what I've heard of people I know who have seen it, they've said it's a very one-dimensional. It doesn't really give a lot of oomph to
Yeah,
the
no,
story.
I think I would totally agree with that because, like I said, although the plot was intense, because you have this, like, it's a Navy SEAL, so he can do a lot of, he's had a lot of training here.
Yeah.
And they come in and they kill his pregnant wife.
Dang.
And so he's going for revenge, right? Like, so that's an
it's-
intense
yeah.
So it's
plot point.
It's John Wick, but darker.
Yeah, really. So, like, they shoot
Yeah.
her while she's in bed, so they end up killing his wife and child, right? And so, like, that's kind of the starting point.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I'm saying, it's an intense plot point, but it doesn't really come off that way at
They don't-
all.
they don't
like,
give it
They don't give it the
really
weight.
just kind of
Stakes or
dies
anything. Yeah.
out there. And
Yeah.
Huh.
so it's, although I did enjoy watching it, I do believe I gave it a like. Yes, I did.
Yeah.
It was just kind of all right. It was. I gave it a 2.5.
I'm still interested to see it to add it to my 2021.
I kind of want to. I'm kind of interested. I've never seen like a Tom Clancy adaptation on a movie before. I've played the OG Rainbow Six. And that's not, I don't think, a great indicator of what Tom Clancy is as a writer.
The games, like the Tom Clancy's games, have really nothing to do with his writing.
Well, I would say it ended up at number 5 on my 2021, but I don't have very many 2021.
Ooh, that's because 2021's just depressing.
It broke your top 5, Mom.
Just above Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention earlier, but I rated The Phantom Menace 3.5.
Oh, sorry, I took over for that.
No, I just forgot to mention it.
Oh, I rated it 3. It was all right.
And then you guys ended up watching something else after Dad went to bed.
No. No.
Right?
We watched this, I think the reason she's saying this is because we logged Phantom Menace on the 5th because we finished it after midnight.
Yeah, we logged the Phantom Menace.
And then we went to bed.
And then woke up.
And then we woke up the next day.
And on the 5th, we watched more.
Yeah, while we were working on some stuff, just like work and everything, we wanted something to turn on in the background. And we turned on...
While we were working on stuff, like work.
Yeah, like work stuff.
We turned on...
Jobs.
We turned on Hamilton.
Yeah, we turned on Hamilton.
The Disney Plus recording.
Yeah.
Which I forgot is almost 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's such a long show.
It's a long show.
But I did get done what I was trying to get done while I turned it on, so that was good. But man,
I feel like we talked about Hamilton in our 2020 Wrapped video.
Like, Hamilton is so good. Like, I feel like some people don't like it, but like the general consensus is that Hamilton is good. I think Lin-Manuel Miranda is like genuinely a super, super talented writer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I would definitely agree with that.
His music is spectacular. Like, I don't know what to tell you. And Hamilton isn't like my favorite thing in the world, but it is really catchy. It does do a decent job at staying emotional. And like, I don't know, it's just like a really good show. Yeah.
I personally think like Hamilton as a Broadway show is probably like a 10 out of 10. But I'm not like super well versed in Broadway. I just have like seen a few musicals.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, the recording itself, like the actual taping that's on Disney Plus, is a little lacking.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it, but like
anytime you pull though a recorded version of a live theater production, it's gonna lose something.
Obviously, because like a lot of times, and I know you just come off of like watching Stop Making Sense a lot, which is a very like that was a production. Like, they had a crew. And a director that
was a production. They did a show so they could tape it, not the other way around.
Right.
So they like, I'm sure that show looks great.
Oh
and then
no, it's phenomenal.
Like going to this where it is very.
I came from one of the highest acclaimed concert films of all time to a Disney Plus taping of Hamilton.
The only interesting thing they do with the camera is one time before Hamilton gets shot, they tilt the camera a bit.
They're like, ooh. May have been added in post, ? We don't know.
But yeah, I didn't rate Hamilton because, I don't know, it's musical and I just
I'm going off
Broadway.
I'm going off the perspective. I'm rating the recording, not the show itself.
I didn't rate Newsies either, I don't think.
So I gave it a 4 out of 5. As a thing, as a piece
musical,
of media.
I rated it initially and I gave it 5 of 5, but I just felt wrong about like putting Hamilton, like a Broadway musical, up there with all of my 5-star
I get
movies.
That.
So
I mean, you kind of, in order to rate a musical, I feel like you have to see it live.
Yeah, for Broadway. Yeah, well, it's just written to be seen live.
Absolutely.
It's like reading a screenplay. The screenplay is meant to be watched, not read, kind of thing.
And then after that, did you say what you rated it?
I rated it a 4 out of 5.
After that, early in the morning, I think.
Early in the morning.
You have the earliest thing? Did you watch something before?
No. I think you and I watched...
Yeah, you guys watched something without me.
So I woke up and...
I was abandoned.
I woke up pretty early and came out. And
and I had just started a movie and you watched it with me.
I missed like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't much.
It's the most crucial part, Micah.
I do feel kind of sad that I missed the first 5 minutes, though I would watch it again.
I mean, it's only 77 minutes long. But we watched To Tokyo,
a 2018 indie film.
It was very indie.
A British
Very,
indie film.
very
And
indie.
originally I turned it on to like you guys did Hamilton
Yeah.
to play in
Yeah.
the background
'Cause,
while I was
yeah.
working. But what I did not realize
There's
is this
like
was
5 words said in the whole
maybe
movie.
2
No
pages of
dialogue.
dialogue in this entire 77 minutes. So you have it's a watch movie. Like,
Yeah.
you have to watch.
We were like absentmindedly singing along to Hamilton as we were doing stuff.
And yet, To Tokyo, I would say, is actually pretty darn, like, abstract. It is very indie in the way it does it, so it's not doing anything, like, insane, but it is, like, very, like, base level, pretty abstract. They don't have much dialogue. They use a bunch of, like it's a horror movie done with the whole, like, symbolizing something that's going on with her life kind of thing.
Would you say
Yeah,
it
and
was
it's definitely. I believe it's rated TV mature.
It's not rated.
Oh, is
Oh,
it?
it's not rated.
Yeah.
Amazon gave it 18+, but there's just gore in it.
Well, but it's it's the subject
Yeah.
of content
Yeah,
matter.
that would- yeah, I guess that would
I
make
would
sense.
say is definitely not something I would want a
Yeah.
child
Yeah.
to watch.
No, I wouldn't say take your kids to go see To Tokyo. No.
But yeah, I think they addressed a problem in a very abstract way with
Yeah.
a lot of symbolism.
Yeah, there was a lot of
And,
symbolism in it. I think the weirdest part of this movie is when she goes off into the woods. That part was a bit whack. With
Well, she
all-
was dragged there.
Yeah, but like it just like the Native American imagery specifically threw me. I don't understand what they were going for with
Yeah,
that.
well, and it doesn't really give you that is my one thing with this one is I wish that the writers and or director would have given us a little more insight into what
Something
their
to work with,
version
Yeah.
of what they were thinking.
And the director, I think you said, like,
Because
was
there's
said,
so
like,
much
they
room
were
for
like, They were like,
interpretation.
we don't want it to be like
Right.
an explicit thing, which is fine.
Yeah.
But like, with something as weird as like almost feeling like, I don't know, that whole kind of weird vibe of like taking Native American things and making it very like, ooh, look at like this. And I don't know, it felt like that was the only part that I was like, this is kind of weird. Because, like, it didn't seem to have any specific, like,
Purpose.
pretense to, like, the actual story. It was just there because it was.
Would you consider it experimental at any by any stretch?
Experimental?
Well, you guys
No.
just seem to be describing it as like some very abstract indie
I mean,
thing.
it definitely
I
is.
said, like, it's abstract, but it is very much, like, indie abstract. They're not doing
So
anything,
it's just like
crazy.
Yeah, it's still a film. They just present it in.
Yeah, it's
Right,
much
and-
more
and there's-
cinematography and not dialogue
Okay,
and
okay.
symbolism oriented. It's not like doing insanely abstract thing. There's nothing super fancy with the camera or anything like that. No insane storytelling.
I mean, I
techniques.
enjoyed the cinematography.
No, the
in it.
cinematography is good, but they're not doing like any like abstract.
I was about to say
storytelling techniques.
experimental films usually are very like non-linear, usually non-narrative movies.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing for me was it just was so much to leave open to interpretation that
They didn't give you anything to hold on to, really.
you're like, was this all symbolism or did some of it actually happen?
Like Sucker
Like-
Punch.
No, I don't think I ran into that problem, and maybe because I wasn't working well and you were. But I thought it was very clear, like
I wasn't really working very much.
the symbolism of what they were going for. How I interpreted it anyway seemed pretty clear to me, with everything except for the woods stuff.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Did that actually happen, or was that all in her mind as she escaped a memory? You know,
I don't know. It's very interesting. It's quite like it would be an interesting movie to go watch again.
I'd be kind of
sometime.
interested to check it out now.
But yeah, I gave it 3 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
There you go,
It's
7
got-
out of 10.
It's
Not bad.
It's got some nice colors. It's got some nice cinematography. It's got some pretty decent acting.
Ooh, the
Yeah,
color grading was good, Micah.
The color grading was pretty
Yeah,
sharp.
no, it was really good.
It was a
yeah.
very purple.
I may have to watch it then.
They had,
but yeah,
like,
no, it
lots
was
of nice color in it.
it was definitely right up there in the indie films for me. If I were to do a list of ranked indie films, this would be in the top 5.
She compared it to Everything Beautiful is Far
I
Away.
did.
Yeah, that would
did.
make sense from what you guys have been
Which
saying.
it is a very similar vibe. Obviously, it's a little less like dialogue and everything than Everything Beautiful is Far Away, but it is a very similar vibe. I would put those on a double feature.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think they would make a good double
I'd be
feature.
interested to see it then.
Also on the 6th, though, while we were
all
also
together.
working.
Yeah, we watched. We were just sitting in the
work
room.
day.
Yeah, after I had finally woken up.
During this one, we all actually worked, though.
Yeah.
We watched the Lego Batman movie again.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Which, I mean, come on.
This was only a second watch for me.
The Lego Batman movie. Come on.
I had only seen this one other
Need
time.
I say more?
Need I say more? Exactly.
Give me those Paddington sound bites.
It's good.
And although I'm not a huge Will Arnett fan,
Yeah.
Neither am I.
I do like this movie.
Yeah, like I don't like Will Arnett that much, just like as an actor in general. But like I think he does do a pretty decent job.
He does
for
a
this
great
Batman,
job as
like this
Lego
very
Batman.
insecure Batman.
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
And man, like this, they just have so much fun with this, and it really is like such a Lego movie in the same sense that like the Lego movie is a very like it's not just
The
using
story
Legos
could only
as
take
a
place
gimmick.
as Legos,
Right.
kind of thing.
Like
I would go as far to say as this may be the best casting for Will Arnett.
Probably.
I
I might go with that.
I would probably agree, but I would probably agree that Michael Cera is. Oh my gosh.
There's just a bug. It's okay.
Well, you flinched. I was like, "Is it a big bug?"
No, it's
Is it
just a
coming
tiny
for me?
bug. Oh my gosh.
Okay, but anyway,
What
I
were
was
you
gonna
saying,
say
Micah?
this is probably
Michael Cera, what?
my favorite voicing of Robin. I don't know why, but I love Michael Cera
That's true.
as Robin.
Michael Cera as Robin is like the actually almost all of the casting choices in
I
this
was gonna
movie.
say, I
rock.
honestly think that they just did a really good job casting.
They had so
this.
much money to do this movie.
I was about to
had
say
to
Lego.
have.
The Lego movie made so much
And I
money. They
mean-
could do whatever
and I
they
mean,
wanted for a
honestly,
sequel.
The animation, like lighting and everything, looks a lot better than the Lego movie.
It looks even yeah, as good as the Lego movie looks, and it looks good. This somehow looks better.
Like their lighting and the cinematography in this is actually really good.
It's almost like Toy Story 4 levels of like, wow, this is really amazing to just
Right?
watch.
Yeah,
I
like
mean, if
the
you read through
animation
this
is
cast list, though.
impressive.
Yeah,
Just read through the cast list and you're like, wait, what?
exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty stacked.
Channing Tatum,
Jenny Slate,
Jenny
Harley
Slate,
Quinn, Jenny
Conan
Slate
O'Brien.
is great, I must say.
Then you got Billy D. Williams.
Oh my gosh.
Jumping over from Star Wars.
Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman, but she only has like 4 lines.
Wait, Adam Devine was the Flash.
Yes,
Oh my gosh,
very
So
young.
weird.
Wow.
Wow, yeah, the cast for this is super stacked. The
Seth
animation
Green
looks
as King
great.
Kong.
Oh
The
my
story
gosh.
is really like goofy, obviously, because it's a Lego movie, but they do it in such a good way of actually keeping it pretty darn emotional for like
It is.
as a Lego movie goes.
I would totally agree
Yeah,
with
no,
that.
I like honestly, if the Lego movie didn't exist, this would be like one of my favorite like
I like it more than the Lego
toy-centric
movie.
adaptations of like an animated movie.
I have some problems with the Lego movie. I still think we should do it on the podcast.
The Lego
sometime.
movie is like practically perfect, Mike.
Get Houston on here for the podcast or something.
Let's
Yes.
the Lego Batman.
The
movie,
Lego
though.
Batman movie.
I gave it 4.5 stars this time around, which I upped it a half star this time, and maybe
Interesting.
it was because I was working that I like, and I wasn't like, but I don't know. It
Oh,
felt
it's
like
so
a lot,
funny, man.
Like a lot of the problems of the movie seemed to just slip away, and I just had a lot of fun while doing a pretty like slow-paced job.
Yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5 on the second go around, which I think was the same thing I rated it the first time. It's a really fun
Had
movie.
you only logged it twice?
Yeah, I'd only seen it 2 times
This
before.
is my 4th time logging.
Well, I mean, you've only seen it one more time than me at that point.
This was only my second time watching
Yeah.
it. I gave it a 3.5 this time.
I forgot how fun the Joker was.
But
too.
it was.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say. I feel like it's just a super fun movie
Yeah.
to sit and
Yeah,
watch.
and, like,
I would
like-
choose to sit and watch it
And like
again.
the
Exactly,
Joker's
yeah.
plan is actually really smart, which I was expecting it to be a dumb plan, and then it actually ends up being smart. And like it's just fun. It's a really unique look at DC characters.
And it's, I dare say, like, one of the best Batman movies I've ever seen.
I'd probably agree.
I put it right under just a second. I put it right underneath Mask of the Phantasm and The Dark Knight, which are the only two I would consider like better than this.
I love,
honestly,
though, in this, how they're all their, like, canonical creation age. Like, Batman's, like, 70 years old or something.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this. Like, they're all...
From the character Inception.
Yeah, from the character Inception. Like, that's the kind of thing that I think it's hilarious.
Well, I mean, that's another one of the elements that makes it so much fun.
Yeah, and they, like, reference, like, every other Batman movie.
Well, it's because it's...
I mean, even as far as clips from
Yeah.
the actual television series and things like that.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of fun with it. If you're a Batman fan, especially,
I was about to say, this feels like...
And are okay with it being goofy. Because, like, it's goofy.
I mean, Batman is inherently kind of goofy.
Right. Sorry, Christopher Nolan. Batman's still goofy.
Why is he dressing up like a bat? We don't know.
Later, that same day...
That very same
whilst
day.
we were still working, or at least I was still working.
That was during lunch, I thought.
No, I was still working for this.
Yeah, I was about to say, we were still working on stuff.
We rewatched John Mulaney and the Sack Lunch Bunch, which we've actually done on the podcast.
Yeah.
I think it was our season 2 opener.
Yeah, it was the premiere
And
for
by
season
we,
2.
you mean you two.
Yes.
I don't think Mom's as big of a
I
fan.
did not rewatch it.
I think this was my 4th time watching it.
Oh, wow.
I think it's a lot of fun. I really like John Mulaney. He's probably
Oh, it was my 4th time, too.
He's probably my favorite comedian.
For stand-up?
Yeah, for stand-up. Like, John Mulaney.
That would make sense.
I don't know. My mom's giving me a sad look. She's disappointed. But, I don't know. John Mulaney is just such a funny guy. And while I don't think this works 100% of the way through...
No.
There's just so it's so funny for a lot of it, and it has so much fun. And then not only that, it actually tries to do something with it. Like, it's not just like there to be there. The entire special actually does have a point.
Yeah, I mean, it does. I just, my problem with it is I work with kids. And this is kind of like a nightmare to people that work with kids.
Yeah.
I think the obvious like criticism of it, the reason it's not like a 5 out of 5 is it's not biting enough to be a good satire of like
Right.
a kids program kind of thing, but it's not like it's not entertaining
enough.
Yeah, it's not like genuine enough to be that entertaining for like a child.
Yeah.
So it kind of hits this weird middle ground where not everything hits for everyone.
Yeah, you get some of them that are like really funny from a satire perspective.
Exactly.
And then some of them that are really just fun songs.
Like the little intermission, like the Googie section.
Googie is a cool satire.
Yeah, it's a funny take on like the like child big dressed up guy.
But
for
then you mix
the intermissions.
Then you mix it in with a lot of stuff, like even just some of like the normal songs, even though they're a little bit more funny, like they're still very like base level. They're not trying to be a satire.
Exactly.
So a lot of the times you're balancing between like, is this supposed to be a satire? Is this supposed to be just funny? Is this supposed to be like a commentary about like the way children are treated by their parents and their fears and everything, which it is partially that.
Yeah, partially.
But like it ends up being kind of this jumble.
Yeah, it's just kind of a mixed bag
stuff.
But I mean, it's a fun mixed bag that I very much like.
And I mean, you have Jake Gyllenhaal as
That's true.
as Mr. Music.
I mean, that
Mr.
was
Music.
one of my favorite parts.
Mr. Music.
That's literally one of the heights of movie going in 2019.
Right. I remember film Twitter was freaking out.
Rightfully so.
I gave it 4 stars.
Yeah, I gave it 4 stars.
I think that's what I've always like rated it. I think it's a pretty 4-star movie. Dang. Our mom gave it a 2.5 and no like.
I mean, that's only 1.5 off of our rating.
I mean,
that's
I
not
told
that
you
dramatic.
I struggle with this one because of the whole.
I guess, yeah. But yeah, we went on way too long about for that with us already having done an episode about it. But
yeah, but it was a season ago.
That's true.
And then later on the 6th, that night,
That very night.
Robbie was gracious. And,
Gracious.
I wanted to see a movie that I knew would not be a great movie. But I was like,
Wow.
it sounds fun. Let's rent it.
I was gracious enough to let you pay to watch a movie.
Well, you were gracious
in
enough
your
to
own
watch
house.
it with me. So we rented from Amazon
Yes.
Max Winslow and the House of Secrets.
2020 film.
And that's what I've been trying to do, like
Yeah,
load
yeah.
up some more 2020 and 2021 films into my lists. And this one sounded fun
Yeah,
when I
no,
read the
It's
description.
an interesting premise.
Oh, I even thought it sounded fun. I didn't watch it.
But it was a weird one.
I mean, it's basically the same thing that you get with Escape Room and No Escape Room and stuff like that.
It was kind of like that was
It's
when we finished watching it. I think that's what I told you in my description. I was like, that was like Escape Room meets like one of the Disney Channel original.
Yeah, I was about to say
movies.
it's essentially it's like Willy Wonka and Escape Room had a baby,
Right.
And this is what it is, but it's not as goofy as
Mr.
Willy Wonka.
Limoncello's Library.
Yeah,
So like
Not the movie, the book.
it's like the whole golden ticket premise from Willy Wonka,
Yeah.
and they get called into
they get
this
called into the
contest, and-
contest to win a mansion, and they're all stuck inside the mansion
Yeah,
until
so-
they learn their great big lesson about life. That
So
sort
it's
of
like
thing.
it's like Mr. Limoncello's Library, but forcing kids instead of inviting them to
Right.
challenge them to get out.
Yes.
But my huge problem with this movie, and I don't know if I gave it a like or not.
I gave it a like. I quite enjoyed it,
I actually didn't give it a like, and I
Oh.
think it was because of my problem with it.
Okay.
Because my problem with it was the bottom line that they were like saying was in order to
Oh yeah, they're messy.
in order to solve trauma, we cause more trauma.
Yeah, exactly. No, the whole
In order to deal with our trauma in our lives or the problems that we're having.
they go
we
through one night of like insane trauma
Oh,
to solve
boy.
to solve their past
like,
trauma.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the way.
That's a horrible message.
Yeah, no.
Right.
The main guy invents the mansion to adapt to he's supposed to be like this big tech guy who's been in hiding for many years.
Yeah.
It's supposed to like give kids trauma.
Exactly.
I know
yes.
it is, and they go through this intense trauma, like that they think they're gonna die.
No.
The heck?
And then they're
This guy
all
needs to
they're
be
all
locked
better.
up.
They're all better at
And
the
like
end.
nothing
Sued.
happens. Like he just everything's fine. Nobody has any problems with the fact that this guy puts them through this. And I'm like, wait. And again, I work with kids, so I'm like, dude, this guy needs to go to jail. What the heck?
And not to mention that, but like honestly, I didn't watch it, but like I could not take this guy seriously. The main the tech guy is the guy from Agent Carter.
Wait, really?
Who plays the jerk detective guy.
Oh my gosh.
And I just could not.
Chad Michael Murray?
I don't know. This is the main guy.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Chad
Chad
Michael
Michael
Murray.
Murray.
He's
I
been
couldn't
around.
take him seriously. I really couldn't. Not after Agent Carter.
Yeah, no, I mean, it wasn't good, really. I mean, I gave it a 2.5. I thought it was pretty mediocre on the whole. It was fun, though.
It was fun. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
regret renting it.
The pacing around the middle was quite rough, but
Yes.
the third act was pretty good. So I mean, it every time it had a setback, it would kind of rebound with a fun scene or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It kept me entertained for
was.
its runtime,
Which was
I don't know. I have a soft spot for people get locked in a building and start through their problem movies, apparently.
Like I said,
it was 98 minutes.
book
Yeah.
book version of Mr. Limoncello's Library. Read it.
I also
Don't watch
gave
the
it-
movie.
I also gave it 2.5.
Yeah.
But like I said, I couldn't bring myself to give it that like.
Movie's actually trash.
It is.
For Mr. Limoncello?
Yeah,
Oh
they
yeah.
destroyed it
No,
in
they destroyed the
adaptation.
book for sure.
definitely. But yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
We don't rent movies that often, but
no,
there
we
it
really
is.
don't.
We
I mean,
rented
have,
one.
We have so many streaming services.
Yeah, I was about to
essentially we
say.
are just indefinitely renting movies.
Yeah, exactly. Did you watch anything else?
I watched 2 more movies, one with you guys.
Oh,
one
right.
without.
So the next one we all watched was it? Yeah, it was the next day.
It was YOLO.
Yeah,
YOLO.
It was Fritz
But, like,
Lang's
actually-
1937
but, like, actually
YOLO. It's You Only Live Once, directed by Fritz Lang.
Which Fritz Lang also directed M, which
yes.
I love M.
We love M here on Recently.
We love M here on Recently Locked.
Oh, I could agree with that.
I think M is a huge technical achievement,
Oh my
and
gosh,
it's also
so
super fun.
good. Oh my gosh.
I was very upset going into this movie, getting to the end, and nobody telling me that this was a sad, tragic movie.
Yeah, no, it's got like the Bonnie Clyde thing going on, and I was not expecting that.
No, yeah, it's really sad, and honestly, I didn't like it. And I feel like really bad for not liking it because
You
like
feel bad for
because
not
like the
liking
direction is still really
Oh
great.
my gosh,
And I
Fritz
think
Lang
the-
is such a talented guy,
And
man.
I think the acting was pretty good, and I think
yeah, no, they
like
did
I think
good.
the story was like pretty well written. I just didn't enjoy it. Like,
I
at
loved
the end of the
I loved
day-
its commentary on the prison system
No,
and the mistreatment of like ex-cons in America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, like and all of that's good.
No,
I
there
just
was a lot of good.
I was
Yeah.
so bored watching it. Like I
Really?
gave it 3 stars
Ah.
because like I genuinely think it's well made.
That's funny. You gave it 3. I gave it 3.5.
Exactly.
And Robbie
I gave it a 4. Yeah.
I could probably honestly give it a 3.5 pretty fairly because it is well made. I just like I don't know, there was something about it, and I don't usually like stories like that. And I know they were trying to prove a point, and they did a good
Yeah, I
job
was about to say,
showing
They did
their
a really
point,
good job for
But
sure.
I just don't like movies that are like that, even if it's showing the point of how he's mistreated.
Where
and
things just
everything.
keep escalating.
Yeah,
kind of
where
thing.
things
Yeah.
keep escalating for the worst when they don't have to be.
Yeah. I mean,
Stories like that bother
it's kind
me
of
a lot.
annoying sometimes, but like I said, this was for like to illustrate a point.
Like I said,
very obviously.
they really do it to like illustrate their point and drive it home, and they do a good job with that. But I still didn't enjoy watching it.
I mean, and you got to think this is 1937.
The
This is not,
37.
you're not talking a lot of special effects or anything, but they do a good job of getting across what they wanted to get across.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think probably like a highlight scene that like I've still been thinking about a lot was honestly that scene with the standoff at the gate. I
That
loved
is
that
good
scene.
stuff. Oh my gosh, I was gonna mention this has a lot of the same delicious narrative momentum that
delicious
moment that M has. Like a lot of its editing and the pacing of the screenplay is very similar to
Yeah,
M,
like all the
and
technical
it's,
stuff for this is really
it's
good.
great.
I would like say like, hey, go check this out. It just wasn't my personal cup of tea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go watch it again.
I get that. I totally get
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I can empathize, but I don't.
I mean,
get it.
I think I would watch it again for sure, but it's not one that
It
I
is
would-
very sad.
It's not one that I would put on my hey, I'm gonna watch this one every year list.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, I still think it's well made. I want to see more Fritz Lang movies now.
Yeah.
Because, like, the editing and the
I can't wait to
direction
watch Metropolis, man.
is still, like, it's popping off in both him and this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I rather enjoyed that. I only watched one more thing, and it was on the 7th. Do you want me to just get that out of the way? real
Yeah,
quick?
go ahead and cover it, because we came home to you watching this.
Yeah, that day they all left. I don't even remember what.
I think
they
we
all
were going
left
shopping.
for.
Yeah, we were going shopping.
They all went shopping. I didn't want to go shopping,
Micah
so
didn't
I
want to
stayed
leave the
home.
house.
I don't want to go.
And I watched My Dinner with Andre again.
Great
which I don't know why I love My Dinner with Andre.
You know, I still haven't seen it all the way through.
What? Really?
Dude.
I've seen.
It's
pieces
fantastic.
Of it,
It's
but
like
I have
it's
not
literally
watched
just
it
two
from start
guys
to
sitting
finish.
down having a dinner.
It's so good.
And like the dialogue, and I don't know what it is. Like even something like David Lynch cooks quinoa kind of falls into this genre of storytelling that I love.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just people like enthusiastically telling stories. To
I
each
wonder
other.
how many people have seen David Lynch cooks quinoa.
I just it's one of the top rated shorts on Letterboxd.
Okay, it's very good, but like no one is gonna know what you're talking about.
But like that sort of storytelling that's just like these like two people or even just one person just completely enamored and draws you in and just tells the story with such good detail and descriptiveness. And I just find this and the whole debate, the debate that they have is awesome. I love it. And it's still a lot of it applies even though it doesn't like apply in the same ways because the whole entertainment genre, which is mainly what it focuses on for theater, is changed entirely. But like it's still very interesting and I would say I would love to see like a modern remake of this, but they'd probably butcher it.
Oh, it would be, oh my gosh. Micah, you'd get like a Malcolm and Marie is what you'd get if you tried to adapt this.
Okay.
But I just love My Dinner with Andre. I gave it 5 stars.
Well, there you go. I mean, well-earned 5 stars in my opinion. It's insane.
I really need to sit down and watch it from start to finish because I've seen enough of it that I know the gist of the conversation.
Also, though, I have mad respect for everybody in this movie for the fact that they were in an abandoned building in the middle of winter with no heating, and it was actually like freezing temperatures when they filmed.
The entire time.
Wow.
I have mad respect for the editor of My Dinner with Andre.
But yeah,
they're crazy.
that's all I watched. That's it for me.
For the whole week?
For the whole week.
Yeah.
That's it.
He didn't watch very much.
Oh, that's right. You've just been watching Overwatch.
He's been watching, like we said, he's
The
just been
tournament's
watching
been
Overwatch.
going on.
The May Melee.
Yes, the May Melee.
Yes.
It ended 2 days ago, I guess, now.
Yeah. I guess.
Wait, yesterday... No, it ended yesterday. The finals were yesterday, because I went to that thing yesterday.
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because this is airing on Monday, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been up for too long.
Yes.
Yes, none of us got the right amount of sleep. So.
And me and Mom watched 3 other films together.
Another movie that night.
Yes, that very night that we watched YOLO. Fritz Lang's YOLO.
Dude,
we
that-
watched.
Jumped ahead 10 years.
I forgot to mention, though, that, like, if you
Yeah.
look up You Only Live Once on Letterboxd, on Letterboxd, like, the poster, the official poster, actually has the YOLO highlighted.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
it has the YO.
Well, that's just how they did typefacing back then.
But it just looks like they were going for YOLO.
Wow. But yeah, like she said, we jumped all the way to 1947 for my third Orson Welles film. Yes, my third one. I'd seen Citizen Kane and F for Fake before this.
I've also seen both of those,
Yeah.
and I had not seen this one.
Lady from Shanghai.
The Lady from Shanghai.
Good movie. I would say.
That is a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just struggle with liking Orson Welles movies.
I just like Orson Welles a lot.
Is there a
person.
particular reason?
I don't know. I find them very dry.
They're dry, and he's so arrogant on his own abilities.
I could see an argument for that. Like
this one to me,
did you like this better than Citizen Kane?
yeah, for sure. And I definitely like it better than F is for Fake. But with this one, like, I'm a big mystery person. Like, and I love a good murder mystery. Which I feel like this kind of falls into that genre.
I mean, a little bit. It's more of a noir film than a murder mystery at its core, but
yeah, that's why I said a little bit. But I don't know. It just it was a struggle for me to.
Okay.
If I keep spewing Orson Welles hate, I'm gonna get my.
I was about to say you're gonna get
revoked.
your film bro card revoked. Micah.
I mean, I did give it a 3.5. I thought it was a well-made movie and a well-written storyline.
From my experience with Orson Welles, again, I didn't watch this. He's a talented man.
Oh, he's crazy talented, man.
But I feel like he gets too, not even like self-absorbed, but absorbed in the movie itself. So it comes off as very
I think that
dry, but like it's good.
That I would make more of a case for that happening here than in Citizen Kane. Citizen Kane is actually pretty great, believe it or not.
I feel like it just gets so wrapped up in the technicals of his own like movie. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of times when it comes to somebody who has a lot of talent in something, they hyper focus on things.
Yeah.
So I think that may be part of the issue here.
That would make a lot of sense,
see, and
actually.
that's the thing. When I always say I dislike Orson Welles, I'm not saying that he doesn't have talent. Obviously, he's a talented director. I just don't like the guy.
I think one of the main criticisms for me for The Lady of Shanghai is Orson Welles' fake Irish accent is
oh man, that was rough.
Very unintentionally funny, I think. In
That was a little bit
Yes, he
rough,
does an
for sure.
Irish
he does an Irish accent for the entire movie. no break from
Well,
it.
I mean, he's supposed to be from Ireland.
Yeah, no,
that's
exactly.
kind of the whole.
It's like Robert Pattinson's accent in The King.
Exactly. No, he just. I mean,
But I mean, you can't have a problem with somebody using a different accent for a movie.
I was just kidding. It was a joke. That's not actually a problem.
Robbie's like my main
criticism with
the biggest problem.
No, it lacks a bit of the drive and focus that usually makes noir films so great and like compelling. Because they're supposed to be very obsessive, dark movies a lot of the time, which this one does fall into that quite a bit, especially around the third act. But it lacks a bit of focus around the middle.
See, for me, I know this was a noir film, but it didn't fully feel like it was all in on that. You know?
Really?
I don't know.
I would say so. It's got the femme fatale character. It's got the big mystery. It's got a hyper-focused guy at the center of it. I mean, I don't know.
And he narrates.
I was about to say he narrates the entire time,
like a mystery and a hyper-focused guy.
Exactly.
That's all you need to qualify.
That's all you need for a noir film.
I don't know. I mean, I enjoyed watching it.
I mean, a lot of the movie is set on like a boat or the beach, so it doesn't share a lot of the aesthetics of most noir films from the 40s. But
yeah, but like Brick is a solid noir, and it's obviously not the same aesthetic as a lot of like older.
I don't know. I loved this. So far from what I've seen of Orson Welles' career, I just have really loved everything I've seen from him, even though I don't think all of it's perfect. I mean, I gave this a 4 out of 5 and not like a 4.5 or a 5. So obviously I have some problems with it, but like, I've just really loved a lot of his direction and vision for, especially like this was so much fun. And a lot of the characters in this movie are just like extremely iconic in my book. I don't know. It's one of my favorite films from the 40s now. And I really look forward to checking out more of his stuff in the future.
Now, did you watch Mr. R. Cardin?
No, like I said, the only ones I've seen of his are F for Fake, Citizen Kane, and now this.
See, I've seen several of his, but yeah, I don't know. I just, for some reason, I don't typically enjoy his, like, I would go out and say, ooh, yeah, let me buy that. Kind of thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, to each his own. I relate a lot of the energy in this movie to like early Scorsese, which I've only seen a few of his short films, but it kind of shares that same sort of snappy, almost manic feeling of a film in a lot of its pacing. I don't know.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
And I
just really love that style, which is why I'm looking forward to checking out more of Orson Welles' career and more of Scorsese's career in the future.
Now, of all of his movies that I've seen, I think this was probably my favorite.
Yeah. No, it's a really fun movie. I definitely recommend it. You should go check it out.
And then we went even further away from current days.
Yeah.
I was trying to fill in some of the missing years of my movie from every year.
Yeah, we have a list. Well, we don't have like one list together. We have two separate lists individually.
Yes, we both have a list
of favorite film from every year.
Yes.
Yeah. And we didn't like what we had for, or well, no, we didn't have anything for 1922.
And so we watched
Dr. Jack.
Harold Lloyd.
Yeah, another Harold Lloyd movie.
I really enjoy his films. Like,
I don't know why he's not held at the, like, not usually mentioned in the conversation around like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin.
You know, I don't either.
His films are just as fun. Yeah.
He does a really good job, and this one was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think the scene where he's trying to prove that she just needs some excitement in her life, it just cracks me up. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
I will say this is the weakest of Lloyd's work that I've seen so far, because The Freshman and Safety Last, his two most popular films, are the ones I've seen so far, and those were much better, especially in like their character work compared to this. But this one's still a lot of fun though. I will give it that.
I mean, The Freshman is definitely better,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah.
I enjoyed Dr. Jack more than I enjoyed Safety Last.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I could see that. Safety Last drags a lot in its last leg of the film, so I could see liking this more. But yeah, I don't know. It's all really good. Dr. Jack, I mean, I gave it a 3.5, and I think that's pretty much the perfect score for it.
I would agree because I gave it the same score. I gave it a 3.5 and a like.
Yeah, I wish more people nowadays watched silent films. They have so much magic around them, especially if
fun.
you're getting into filmmaking.
See, it's actually something very
It's so
interesting
good.
for me on that point. I love films with not that much dialogue, but I find myself not really liking that many silent film, like early silent films. Like I like newer silent films.
That's
Well,
weird.
and I could see that as being, I don't think that's weird because silent films weren't made to not have dialogue. They do
Yeah.
have dialogue. It's just written on the screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
instead.
I just like I think my favorite like silent film that's even in a similar vibe to like most silent films would be The Artist, and that's hardly like it's not even technically a silent film. There's
Yeah.
some sound, like there's sounds used in it and everything, and it was made in 2017. But yeah, I don't know. It's very
I
weird.
still need to get you to watch Sherlock Jr., Micah.
See, I just don't like silent comedies.
You
Especially.
need to watch Sherlock Jr., Micah.
Like I don't know. I think
have to
silent.
watch
I think
it.
silent dramas and stuff like that would be much more for me. I just don't like silent comedies.
You might
that
like
much.
The Phantom Carriage,
Yeah.
which was
I've been meaning to watch that.
yeah, that was a 1910s film I watched a while ago. It's a lot more serious.
Because Vampire or whatever
That
was
one is
pretty
on my
darn
watch
good.
list.
Yeah, Vampire is very good. But the Phantom Carriage, I swear, must have inspired The Shining in some way because they have a shot in it that's like almost literally the exact same shot from The Shining, and I'm like, this can't be a coincidence, right? But yeah, no. Dr. Jack, good movie.
Wait, you watched the Simpsons short?
I did.
You watched it without me?
I was waiting for
Okay,
you.
apparently-
Yeah,
I wanted to watch that.
Okay,
What the heck?
I almost watched it and didn't because
I'll tell you what, we can, once we finish recording, we'll go upstairs and watch it. It's only 3
Wow.
minutes long.
Jerk.
I watched The Force Awakens from its nap, which is the newest Simpsons short that they put on Disney Plus.
that
Which
we were both waiting to
you
watch
might-
We were
with
both
you.
waiting to
which
watch.
you might be able to guess from the title is a Star Wars spoof.
It was
thing.
put out for like May the 4th.
Yeah, it was put out as a little promo that, hey, we have all of the Star Wars movies.
And the
And the
Simpsons.
Simpsons.
And The Simpsons. Oh, wow.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to Disney.
Yeah,
Plus.
it's basically just as my friend Adam Johnson, he's a good friend of the podcast. As he put it, it's basically just a long game of catch the reference. And yeah, it basically goes on for 3 minutes. I said it was a few of the driest 3 minutes of my time on the earth.
Wow.
It's just it's not great. It's not bad though.
All right.
I gave it a 2.
You guys want to wrap up with the last movie you watched?
Saturday the 9th is
Yeah,
our last one.
At 2 this
because
morning.
we did not watch any movies on Mother's Day.
Yes. Well, I mean, technically, we started this one after midnight, so we did watch it on Mother's Day. If you want to get technical about it.
But we watched the 2020 movie Greenland.
Greenland, yes.
Which, going in, we knew was a disaster film.
Which I'm a little biased against disaster films because, in my experience, I haven't seen too many of them, but in my experience, they generally just suck.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I hadn't seen one I liked up to this point. But I did like Greenland, so.
Oh yeah, as we were sitting there watching it, we even made the comment while we were watching, this is
actually
it's actually got
pretty-
a plot
pretty good,
to
yeah.
it. It's not just the world is ending. They've tied in some stories and some
Yeah.
character development that really pulls you into.
which I mean, Day After Tomorrow makes an attempt at, and like a lot of disaster films are here's the character arc. Obviously, Day After Tomorrow is a lot weaker
Absolutely.
in that department than Greenland was. But yeah.
Wait, I spaced out for a second. What were you saying about Day After Tomorrow?
I said they attempted to put some character arc of some kind in Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out very well.
But Greenland really
Certainly
did,
was a
in my
character.
opinion, Greenland did a really good job of getting you to care
Oh, yeah,
and root for and like be there, and that's not typically your normal disaster film.
That's really what I would cite as the secret sauce for Greenland, and why I liked it more than like other disaster movies I've seen. Because on a spectacle level, it's not as impressive as something like I don't know, Day After Tomorrow. But like
The effects of Day After Tomorrow don't look that good, though.
the actual like empathy and heart they imbue Greenland with is what makes it stand out so much in my mind, anyway.
So it's like Extinction, but if it was well written.
Exactly. it's like if a disaster movie actually cared about people instead of just criticizing how terrible humans are the whole time.
Like Cloverfield, but if everybody wasn't the worst.
Yeah, you know, and it didn't even feel like, to me, it didn't feel like 120 minutes. Like,
Yeah, no, like it was. It went by pretty fast.
I was like, oh.
I imagine you guys were both very tired, though.
I mean, I find the more I'm staying up into like the 4 a.m. territory,
Oh, no.
the less tired I am until I actually go and lay down.
Oh, no.
So.
Yeah, I will say, and without spoiling the movie, because it is a 2020 film,
Yeah.
that we both kind of agreed that at the very end,
Okay, yeah.
they should have. There's a point.
There's a big climax to the movie.
There's a point where they make a statement before earlier in the movie, and then they do that, and then they go to black,
Yes.
and they black out the screen, and then both of us thought, "Oh, that's the perfect place."
That's the
to roll
perfect
credits.
ending.
Like, roll
the perfect
credits,
ending.
roll credits.
They need to go to the
And
credits.
then they come back and give us like 3 more minutes.
Yeah, they give us like an epilogue kind of thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
Was it any good? Like the
I mean,
epilogue?
it was fine.
It wasn't bad.
It
It just
felt like-
I feel like it would have been
Killed
better.
the drama
I
of
feel
the
like,
ending.
yeah, I was about to say, I feel like it would have been a lot more potent as an ending if they would have just left it as it was.
Yeah.
But then they, like, Micah, not to insult your writing, but from what I've read of your fiction writing in the past, it seems like something you would do, where like it just elaborates more on like how things are going, like after
Well, had
the big
they-
climax.
Right, had
I
they
haven't written
ended-
something in a while.
Yeah, I
so,
know.
Had they ended at
insulting
the
my
black, had they ended at the blackout,
They give like this
they would have
epilogue
left
kind of thing.
They would have left it up to you what actually happened.
Because the whole point of the movie is it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
happens.
Whereas by coming back
Yeah.
and showing
It just kind of
us what
undermines it a
happened.
little.
No, yeah.
Which there are plenty of other movies
I was about
where
to say, I
like
feel like there I could.
it'd
If
be
I
like-
really thought about it, there's some examples.
it'd
of
be
that.
like if Inception cut
Cut
if
to
the,
one, yeah, if Inception showed if the top
if the
fell
top
or not.
fell or not. It's not supposed
Right,
to.
no,
It's not the point of
absolutely.
the movie at all.
The whole point is that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But then like they show
Did you
it.
ever read that screenplay I wrote that not that long ago?
I did not. Should I? Like,
I don't know.
will it prove me wrong?
I've written several like pilot like TV show episodes for no good reason.
But yeah, no, that was the last film we watched. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. Quite good stuff, I dare say. Definitely my favorite disaster movie I've seen. You should watch it sometime, Micah. You'd probably like it.
I also gave it a 3.5.
Wow.
And a like.
Amazing.
It was an interesting week.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird week.
It was a weird week for
we
sure.
watched a lot more movies together than we usually do. Like, which I mean serves better to the Mother's Day episode, I guess.
It did. Thank you guys for having me on the podcast.
She's been trying to get on the podcast for a while, and it's
Well-
not like we've been refusing her.
It's not that I've been trying to
Yeah,
get on
yeah.
it. But here's the thing, and maybe you'll let me come and actually review a movie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Sure. I mean,
But
it's nice having guests on.
my thing is I do listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And I feel as I get a bad rap on it sometimes.
Oh, that's never the intention.
It's never the intention. It's just the movies that you turn on.
The movies that you end up turning on sometimes.
So we're always just like, because we don't want to be like, we turned on this movie. So
You're
we're
like,
like,
my
our mom
mom
turned on this movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, there are some movies I don't want to take responsibility for having started watching this,
And
you know?
I totally get that.
Yeah.
But sometimes I feel as if it paints me into this picture of I just watch bad movies
You just watch
all the
crappy
time.
movies all the time.
Well, I'm not saying that like you like all of them or don't think that they're not bad, but you do turn on you just turn on a lot of movies.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, and I think for me, I don't want to prejudge something.
Yeah.
So even though, like, even with Greenland, like the one we just
Yeah,
talked
Greenland.
about, like, I went into that
Oh,
really
no.
not expecting to like it.
Honestly, given my, like I said, aversion to disaster movies, I was expecting to kind of dislike it a lot.
But I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, exactly. Pleasantly surprised.
And that's
Quite
what I
good.
feel like when I turn on a movie. I'm like, well, if I feel like, because as a writer, like I write, but part of
I
what
would
I
say
do
so,
for
yeah.
a living is writing, but not movies. But I don't know. So like, I want to give a story a chance.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I try and do when I turn on these movies that I'm like, oh, that sounds like they could have done a good job with that. Let's turn it on and see. And then it's not.
And then they
I'm
just
like,
didn't.
that had so much potential. And I know your favorite thing to tell me is every movie has so much potential.
Well, that's true. You could take any premise, no matter how vague or small, and make it into a good movie.
Yeah.
But like
there's a million things that have to go right for that.
yeah,
to
exactly.
happen.
Like
At the
there are
end of the
so
day,
many freaking moving
at
parts
the
on
end
a
of the
movie.
day, a movie
It's a
is-
miracle
is
even any of
such
them
a
are good.
complex thing.
Oh, true.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah. I always like to try and give movies a chance, but like, I don't know. If a movie looks bad, I'll try and avoid it sometimes.
Yeah, I'm just so
Just
I'm
to
so
save
I'm so
time.
picky with what I turn on movie wise, and I don't know why, but like if a movie just doesn't sound good, I just like, even if it's something I like, I just don't want to turn it on.
Yeah, you're weird, Micah.
Yeah, you're strange about that sometimes.
Like no, I'll sit there like even by myself.
I'll say, let's watch
I'll sit at the
Ratatouille,
house.
one of your favorite films. And Michael's like, I'm not really in a Ratatouille mood.
No, I'll sit there at our house
And,
by myself with like tons of movies, and I'll just be like, no.
But see, I get that. Like,
I don't know.
just because because like the other day I like Star Wars. Star Wars is one of my favorite. But on Star Wars Day, I just wasn't feeling watching Star Wars.
I guess.
I don't know. Like I have to be in a certain mood for a certain type of story. Otherwise, I feel like the story won't speak to me in the way that I want it to. Like if I watch like
Yeah.
Ratatouille or something when I'm not in like the mood to, I'll just be like, wow, that sure was Ratatouille, instead of being like
That was Ratatouille.
instead of like actually
This is
getting-
life-changing
instead of
cinema.
like actually getting into the movie.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I don't know. I don't want to say like I love movies more because I
love movies.
I'm saying
I don't want to say
don't
I love
say
movies
that.
more,
But I am.
I'm
saying
not
that.
saying that. I'm saying I feel like I'm less picky about what I turn on just because I'm like, wow, look, a movie, you know?
No, and even then,
But
like, a
that's-
lot of times
but
I'll end
that's
up
what I try
enjoying
and
the
approach
movie
everything
anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll end up enjoying the movies anyway, even if it's a movie that I don't want to watch.
Yeah,
just
if
in
I force Micah to watch Sherlock
Like,
Jr.
I'm not saying that I'm going to like judge the movie before I see it. I'm just saying that I just
Yeah.
don't want to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get that.
I mean-
I just wanted
Yeah.
to broadcast
Little
that I
PSA.
like to give movies a chance.
that you don't always just turn on crappy movies.
I do like a good movie.
Yes.
And I do know what
And
constitutes a
see,
good
and see, that's the
movie.
thing too. Like sometimes I'll get in the mood for like a certain movie. I think of a movie and I'm like, oh, that's like really
That's perfect.
good. And then a lot of times I can't even watch that specific movie for some reason. Either like it's not on
Time
something
or,
anymore,
yeah.
or time, or people aren't there who would want to watch it. And I'm just like, nothing else sounds good.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But see, aren't there just some times where you're in the mood to watch a specific movie, even though you know it's a bad movie?
I mean,
Like take
Like Storks has happened for me.
take Master of Disguise. Like that's not a good movie.
No, it's,
I don't think
but it's hilarious.
I can't say I've ever had like a craving to
no,
watch
I've
Master
never
of
wanted to turn on
Disguise.
Master of Disguise.
Or like the Three Amigos.
Like I'll do that for like even movies that I don't want to see. Like I'll just be like for 2001, I didn't really want to watch 2001,
2001
but one
is
day
so
it just sounded good. Like I just
Right.
wanted to turn it on.
Yeah.
And I still didn't even end up liking it that much. But like, I just want that day I was just like, you know what? I want to watch 2001 today.
You know what? We're gonna watch 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Well,
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Yes.
I do
Happy
have a
Mother's
Letterboxd.
Day.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day.
This is a good ending to Mother's Day.
Well, good.
We're
I don't think it's Mother's Day anymore. Actually.
No, it's not.
It's not Mother's Day.
We may have
anymore.
started in Mother's Day, but it's all over now.
Yeah.
We no longer
Good
appreciate you.
riddance.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
And on that note,
We're gonna go watch Mother.
Oh no.
yikes.
And then I Am Mother.
Oh boy.
The ultimate double feature, Micah.
I feel like those don't go together at all.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the dog's running around upstairs.
I
Yeah.
think she wants something.
It could be.
But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. We hope you had a good Mother's Day and
Yes.
watched some movies with your own mothers.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
We didn't watch any movies
What
today.
do you want to shout out, Mom? Anything you want to
Anything you
steer
wanna
people
plug?
to?
Websites, social medias.
I mean, not really.
I mean, I guess
we've
your
already
Letterboxd,
announced
yeah.
my Letterboxd, and that's
She's at Squaggles.
Squaggles.
Yeah, Squaggles with 2 G's.
it is.
Good, yeah.
Because, I've already stated I work with kids, and that was actually my clown name when I did clowning.
Yeah, previous clown.
She's Squiggles and Squaggles.
The first ever former clown guest on
yeah,
the
our first ever former clown guest. Put it
first
put it
time.
in the thumbnail. Put the clown emoji.
I don't think you guys have ever seen me in my clown
No.
makeup.
I've
Never.
seen you in like some clown.
I haven't.
Not your.
But not the Squaggles mix.
No. But yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a good.
Probably Shrek the Third.
Yeah,
Have
if
a good
we
week.
can get it.
Yeah, have a good week.
Yeah.
Do it.
Indeed.